Good day, and another short, practical guitar lesson today. This is about the most basic element of playing the guitar, and that is holding on to the guitar. So in my quarter century of teaching people how to play the guitar, I've noticed two things. One, when they don't know anything about the guitar and you just hand them the guitar, a good portion of the time people will just sort of put it and kind of go like this, and they're ready to play the guitar. And it's only when we start learning things, overthinking things, and that's the other thing I've learned, is that 3 lessons in, all of a sudden they're doing all kinds of, unnatural things. So we're going to try and take that natural way that people hold on to a guitar, and we're going to try and exploit that so that you can be holding on to your guitar the right way all the time, right? So that's a pretty good goal. So we're going to use 2 camera angles. Hopefully that'll show it. One of the things I've noticed in guitar books in particular, and just pictures, is that you're trying to show a 3-dimensional activity with just 2 dimensions. And so seeing it from 2 angles and seeing it in a moving way, I can turn, my seat, and so you can see the various angles. And with that and the other camera, we can, I think hopefully get a good idea. So every normal guitar comes with this thing here. Now we can talk about the upper and lower bouts and this narrowing between the upper and lower bouts. But this is the part where people naturally will put it on a leg, one or the other. There are 2 basic ways of holding the guitar when you're sitting down. And I like to concentrate on the sitting down thing because, quite honestly, most of us I play the guitar sitting down. I'm a professional musician, and I play the guitar, practice the guitar, teach the guitar, perform the guitar, everything to do with the guitar, sitting down. And it's a fair thing to do. This concept of standing up is okay, but when you think about other people who play instruments, most of them are sitting down too. So there's nothing wrong with it. But having said that, at the beginning you're going to be spending your time sitting down, which also means, and we'll get to that in another video, but I'll just sort of say you don't need to buy a strap, right? It's one of those questions we get a lot of. Hey, should I get a strap? No, you don't need a strap. Oh, really? Okay. All right, so there's what we call the classical method, which is you rest it on here, you elevate this leg, you rest it on here, pull the guitar in here. And that's great. It has a lot of advantages. One of the main advantages is that your hand has an easier time here, although you do have to hold your hand up. And it puts the first position of the guitar right at eye level, right? And it works fairly well. A variation on that is what they call the cello method. Not a lot of people do that because of the way I just turned. The way you have to force your wrist to bend around that way. The most popular way is to hold it like this. That if you had a strap, you would it would probably hang here in front of you, and when we sit down, it just works out fairly well that way. Now, we don't actually hold the guitar. We call it holding the guitar, but we don't actually hold the guitar. What we actually do is we balance the guitar. We balance the guitar on this narrower part of the guitar on our leg. And in the method that I'm going to show you today, the most common one, you put on your right leg, okay? And you see from this angle this way, okay? And then we take our arm and we just balance it like this. So what I'm doing here is I have the crook of my elbow right here, and it's on this part of the guitar. My hand can go right here when I go to play the guitar, right? Or if I'm using a pick, and I'm right here, somewhere below the neck, right? And I can adjust where I am on this for 2 things. One, I can adjust it so that my hand is over the sound hole, which seems to be a very popular place to put it. You can play it behind the sound hole. That is also acceptable. Playing back here doesn't give us a really great sound, and playing up here we end up messing around with the fretboard a bit. So over the hole, just behind the hole, someplace, partially through all those things. Okay. And that's all we're doing. Notice how this hand is not doing anything. So what we're actually doing is the weight of our arm is keeping the guitar from doing this, and the forearm with our elbow here is stopping the guitar from doing that. And that could be the end of it right there, how to hold the guitar. It's not going anywhere. I can play it. Right? I can play it just fine that way. But There's always a but, right? If I was a little shorter, or I had less of my height of my legs, and my knee was sloping down, so there's my knee, and it does slope a little bit, but you know, if I was a kid, or I was shorter, or whatever, just a smaller person, my knee would be a little low. Well, let's put it down like that. You can sort of see it that way. And then the guitar would want to be sliding away from us. The guitars are usually have a nice finish on them, and here I am wearing slippery pants. So the other aspect of this is that you want to make sure your knee is the same height as your hip. So this camera over here, I put my knee up like that, and it's the same height. Now I'm doing it by putting my foot on here. You can do it by taking your guitar case and put it underneath there. That you can buy special footrests. I'm going to just use this. I won't put the camera on it, but I put it on the ground here, and I have this set up at a height. There's my foot. Doing that. So now I have my knee as high or higher than my hip, and so the guitar just sits there. I'm balancing it, not holding it, I'm not hugging it, and it's just staying right where I put it. I don't have to do any work from this point on. So then fast forward, the average person who started playing the guitar, and they come back and they're doing this. All right? They're trying to see what's going on here. They want to see what their hands are doing here. And also they're doing this. They're holding the thing like this. And so you can see in this picture, maybe this one, that I have the guitar sort of parallel or straight across with my body like that. I'm actually playing, and it's a really easy thing to spot even if somebody's doing it little. If somebody's playing the guitar and you're teaching them how to play like the notes on the first string, and they go like this, and they go, and the guitar is flying out of their hands, and they're feeling that they're grabbing it. Then they've lost touch with this part here, where you don't hold on to the guitar with your left hand at all. You're not pulling it towards you. You're not lifting it up. You're balancing it with your arm on the guitar, and there's the leg, like the lever kind of thing. The guitar has, despite the way that this looks bigger, there's more concentration of weight here, and so at this point, it's also 1/3 from the end, so there's more guitar on this side of your leg than the other, so if I let go of it, it wants to do that. And so I'm putting my arm here. So without playing, you put the guitar on your lap, and depending on your rib cage and your form, the guitar is going to want to, you know, be at some kind of angle, not dead in front of you. This doesn't work. It looks okay this way, and it's actually kind of okay for your left hand, but you can't get your hand over here, and then you have to do all kinds of weird things that just don't work. So in my case, it's like a 45-degree angle off of my hip. It's also, and I don't know if there's an angle that we can see this on, it's also, I'm just going to hold it right against me, so it does not, you don't want to have it out here, you do not need room in there. Right? It's right against me, and I'm not holding it here weird, right? I'm just holding it right there against here like that. And that's basically it, right? So get this part together, the part where you're holding on to the guitar, and you can do stuff with the strings without going anywhere. And then kind of check yourself when you go to play it, like whatever you're learning how to play. If you're learning to play chords first, see if you're doing this, and then you're taking it off and it's springing out. See if you're tilting it this way, right? Like this is not a good form. It allows you to see what you're doing, but when you go to stand up finally to play, the guitar will go like this, and you won't be able to see anything. And quite honestly, on the guitar, most instruments in general, we don't want to be looking at our hands, right? On the guitar, guitar is probably one of the harder instruments to look at your hands anyways, because you have all this wood here, and you got two hands that are very far away from each other. And so it's just a really good thing to get used to the beginning, not being able to see the front of the guitar, and be able to see the side, bits of your fingers, and feel your way around. Anyways, holding the guitar over here, on that, at an angle from my torso, balanced with my arm, played with my fingers, not held with my fingers. All right, till next time.